Hello, class. Hope you enjoyed our first week. It was great getting to know everybody. It looks like we've got a good mix in this class as far as people who are getting ready to go out on their missions and wait for mission calls, people who just got married or are just planning on getting married, people who are just having kids, and people who are becoming grandparents and have been grandparents. So it'll make for a great opportunity to discuss and bring in all the different aspects and influences and experiences that we've enjoyed, which will really add to the class. I'm excited and have enjoyed getting to know all of you through this first week's assignments. I want to take the opportunity to go through again, do a little screencast because this course is a little unique to help us make sure we understand how best to navigate and make sure we're understanding all the assignments. Again, if you have any questions as you go through this next week's assignments, please feel free on the questions and conversations to go ahead and post your questions there, or feel free to email me. Again, we start off by watching the video and it sets the stage for us. Then we come down and we click on this lesson 2. It takes us to the lesson overview page. We see we're going to be studying the first article of faith. We believe in God, the eternal Father, and in his Son, Jesus Christ, and in the Holy Ghost. It's a great one. Gives us some study assignments, breaking down study assignment 1. We learn about the Godhead and some of the key elements of that we're going to be focusing on. Study assignment 2, our relationship to deity, and then some key elements there. Learning goal focus, again, every lesson will have one of these, and again, we're working to expand your restoration perspective. And so you'll have an opportunity to share how that has expanded through this week's lesson. The key preparation materials, we get the required readings, both scriptures and some talks, a resource, LDS Gospel Topics. That's a great essay there. There's some great essays in there. The First Visions accounts, I encourage you strongly to read through those. The supplemental readings, the King Follett Discourse, is a great one. If you've got some extra time this week, I'd suggest it. Study assignment 2, our relationship with deity, again breaks down the required and then the suggested readings. And then we get down into the activities. Now, I want to point out we're going to be starting what is referred to as CPT discussion boards. You probably remember that from the syllabus, connections, patterns, and themes. And there is a due date 1 activity, due date 2 activity, and a due date 3 activity with these connections and pattern theme discussion boards. So the due date 1 is Tuesday, due date 2 is Thursday, and due date 3 is Saturday. But we can open each of these up and it shares a little bit of information. But what we really want to look at to get the instructions for the assignment is to click right here on the sharing insights, the discussion board instructions. And we'll go through this. Each one of those will take you to the same instruction link where it has all of the assignments. Now you'll notice it'll take about an hour and 15 minutes approximately. It may take a little more, a little less. At least 4 posts with this. So remember, if you're having any questions, you should be making 4 posts on the connections, patterns, and themes discussion board. We'll see here, gives you an idea of what the expectation is with this, that we'll work together. You're going to be in smaller groups. It won't be with the whole class. There'll be about a dozen individuals in your groups, and those will change several times throughout the trimester. So you'll work for about 4 to 5 weeks with this group. So get to know each other, share some thoughts and insights as you go together. First thing, you want to make sure you understand the study materials for assignment number 1, looking for connections, patterns, and themes. And then step 2, this is an early week activity, meaning Tuesday night is the due date for this. You're going to make a post on the connections, pattern, themes discussion board. You will recognize here that it does say your submission should be at least 200 words of your own ideas. You're going to need to include word counts on this, and do not include scriptures or quotations that you're including as part of your post in that word count. I will look very closely for those word counts, so make sure you've got those included there. It does tell you to post ideas on one of the 3 discussions threads on the sharing connection, patterns, and themes discussion board. These threads, you're going to create them just in the title of your post. Make sure we know that it's either an explanation of key events or scriptures or personal relevance or a message to the world. There isn't anything that's already set up or structured in those discussion boards. It's just what you're going to title your post as will let us know which of those 3 threads you're going to be discussing here. Make sure, and this is always a great idea when you're doing any online class, save a copy of your work on your computer. Even if you're making just a comment on the discussion board, especially with your initial post, make sure you've got a copy of that saved. And that will be very helpful for some of the end of week reporting and the binder activities and things like that that you'll do. It'll be more of a copy and a paste than a recreate something you've already done. So we move on, and then we get to the later week activity. So this is the Thursday by Thursday night assignment. I will say this, for that initial post, because we're going to be having people comment on that, there will be pretty substantial deductions if it is submitted late. If something comes up and it has to be submitted late, please contact me first via email so I know what's going on. Otherwise, it will be a substantial deduction if it is posted late. And just out of respect for your peers who are going to be needing to depend on your post to make follow-up posts. So we've got the later week where you'll go in and comment on somebody's post, add something, strengthen, deepens, gives you some ideas that you could do there, but add to a post. Step 6, later week activity again. So by Thursday, you're going to be making 2 additional posts. We've made our post for the assignment 1. We've made a follow-up post where we comment on someone else's, and then we're making our 3rd post, which has to do with assignment 2, where we would share our connections, patterns, and themes based off our relationship with deity. Again, make sure we're doing that in a timely manner, because the last step, we go back and we make an additional comment on somebody else's post. So take the time to do that, and that'll be a great opportunity as we really share and discuss and deepen our understanding as we go through this. Moving down, we have the summary paper that you'll be doing. And with this, you'll get the instructions, and then you have a blank copy that you can download and then upload your finished copy. So we'll go to the instructions real quick. And while we look at this, I've already you'll notice that you only submit these summary papers after we've studied a whole article of faith. And so some will spend multiple weeks going through, and so you won't have a summary paper every week. But it invites you to basically be a reflection on your best thoughts. So if you've been saving a copy of your thoughts from your connection patterns, themes, discussion board, and anything else like that, you'll probably add to it and make it better, but copy and paste some of those things in there is a great idea. You'll see there'll be 3 questions that you'll be asked to address. Why do Latter-day Saints believe the truths taught in the Articles of Faith? You're focusing on what are the key truths associated with this article of faith, unique or significantly clarified by the restoration. And then the last one, working on personal relevance. Why do the truths of the restored gospel matter to you personally? Now, you will notice there are word counts, and you must include word counts here. Remember, that does not include the quotes or scriptures that you're sharing. And you will need to include quotes and scriptures to effectively do this. But make sure you're including those word counts. You'll see them as you read through these instructions. Again, you're going to get the paper copy, and I'll show you what that looks like real quick, just right here. First thing you're going to do, type out or copy and paste, put in the article of faith. I want to know, type it out. We got to know it. We learn them in primary or have the opportunity to reflect on it all week long. We want that in our mind. So type out the whole article of faith, and then go through those questions there, include your response, word counts, and then upload them. So that's the summary paper. This synthesis project. This is something that says it will not be due until lesson 6, but you should become familiar with the rubric and start on the project. So you can go through here. It'll give you the instructions. for what's expected with this synthesis project. You're going to be putting together some PowerPoint presentations demonstrating how your understandings of the article of faith and the truths within them affect problems in the world we see today. And so the instructions, again, not due until lesson number 6, but you'll want to be aware of this. You'll want to take some time to go through, start building that PowerPoint now, so that when lesson number 6 comes along, it's all ready to go. Again, it gives you about 30 minutes a week to be able to work on that, to have the whole project put together come lesson number 6. Last thing we have is end of week reporting, and there's 2 different elements of this. First one is the binder. Add your best work this week to your binder. It gives you instructions on how to create that. The idea behind the binder is that once this course is done, all the discussion boards, all the thoughts, everything that's been shared on it, once we close out the course, you can't go back in and access that. And so we hope that your experience in this course will be something you'll want to take with you. And so your best thoughts, your best, whether they be yours or things your peers are sharing, you'll want to include in this binder. And it's just a way for you to keep those notes throughout this course, but then you'll have them with you for forever. And so you've got the expectations that are here, Google Drive. If that doesn't work for you, there's other options, but I would stick with Google Drive as one of the best ways to do it. It tells you how to break it down. There will be a midterm submission and a final submission where you will actually report to me some of the things that you have, and it breaks it down right here, what you're going to need to include for us. So if you've set up your binder the way you're instructed to in this, these instructions right here, those reports will be copy and paste from your binder into the report when we get to week 7, and again when we get to week 14, where you can submit those to turn them in. It does give you the outlines exactly what's expected there. The last end of week that you'll do is the weekly report that you'll go through, and it just takes you through a quiz that you'll do right there. So hopefully you don't have any other questions. Hopefully this helps. I'm sure there will be questions that come up. If you do, email me. Look forward to seeing your thoughts on Article of Faith number 1, what we come to know about the Godhead and our relationship with deity. Thank you very much. Have a great week and good luck.